very important. That important fact.
Well, you don't want to run afoul of the law. You don't want to be a criminal.
Smart.
And well, yes, but I meant that as a triple entendre because I am not a criminal, Shannon. It turns out I am not a criminal. Yeah. Well,
did you file for that federal crime thing? Whatever.
I did it this morning. So,
oh man, I gotta do it.
We talked about this on the first episode of the year, where the Financial Crimes Enforcement Center or whatever is requiring that every business that exists in the United States identifies its beneficial owners in a database. And the reason they're doing this is to be able to track the actual ownership of companies, so that, basically for financial crimes like terrorism and money laundering and all that stuff. Yes. Yeah. And of course, when you file a tax return, you put the beneficial owners in, like the partners of the business are in there. But you can put another business as one of the partners, and then that business can have several beneficial owners, which could be other businesses. And so it could be a very lengthy investigative process to figure out who the actual owner is. With this, everything gets tied together. So if you put a business in, that's fine. That business is also in the database, and its beneficial owners are there. And the same for those beneficial owners. If it's companies, if it's an individual, that's what they actually want to know, is who are the individuals behind this. So I don't have corporate structures that are overly complex. It took me all of about 8 minutes to do one of my companies. Now, it's a company where my wife is an owner of the company, just so we can file as a partnership. But I am 99% owner of this, and she is not. She does not qualify as a beneficial owner. Beneficial owners, by their definition, are people who have control over the entity.
All right.
And anyone with 25% or more ownership in the entity. So either of those things makes you a beneficial owner. Fine.
I saw the government propaganda. I mean, the news that a million or some odd businesses had already signed up for this last week and everything.
Yeah. And it was easy. I chose, because I have so many different I have like 4 or 5 different LLCs or whatever.
Yep.
I chose to create what's called a FinCEN ID.
Oh.
And really, and I would request that you do the same thing. And the reason is, if you do that, what I did was I went in and essentially created an account for myself, and I'll put a link in the show notes for everybody to do it. And you just log in and give them your name, and I used my driver's license to sort of authenticate myself. And that was it. Like that's the end of that process. But where it gets really easy is when I went then to do the first company that I was going to do with this, I went in and it said, list all the details about this beneficial owner, or give me their FinCEN ID.
It's like a single sign-on ID type thing.
And it's just an ID number. It's not your social security number. It's not a tax ID number. It means nothing other than identifying you for this.
It's one more number I have to remember.
It is, well, or you put it in a database somewhere. But like I did. But I just put in the number, and then all the fields went away. It was like, great. And they were like, are there any others? And I'm like, not for this business. And it was like, click. Okay, you're done. That's it. So that's why I asked that you do it, because you're going to need to do it for your own stuff, and then I'm going to be on the hook for doing it for our entity. So
you're the guy that does that stuff for us.
And you don't want to have to send me a copy of your driver's license or your passport, which you would if I were doing this on your behalf. Right.
But knowing me, I will probably wait to the last possible day because I'm not a huge fan of getting this government stuff done, but I will do it. I'm going to put a note on
it's right there in the show notes, so you could just do that and then just give that to me, and then I'll get it done, and then we don't have to think about it anymore.
Okay.
So, I'll be the proactive one. I'll be the responsible one, Shannon.
Yeah, I always need responsible people around me, because
in fact, I would argue that in the time it takes me to tell everyone about our sponsors for today, you could do it. I would think you could even do it right now.